Hello learners, welcome to LC Academy and welcome back to our front-end development journey. In the previous video, we can learn what is JavaScript, JSON structure and how to fetch API from other apps. In this video, we can learn what is advanced event handling in JavaScript. Let's get into the video. In today's session, we are going to learn one of the most important topics in JavaScript, that is event handling. Whenever a user can click a button, types in a search box, submit a form or moves the mouse, and then JavaScript responds to those actions through events. For example, if you are if you are login on login form, you are fill the all details and finally you can submit. That time you are click the submit button. So you are clicking the button, that is called an event. Okay. In this tutorial we will cover event listener and event object, keyboard, mouse and form events and real world examples used in modern application. By the end of this video, you will understand how websites interact with user and how JavaScript handle those interactions. Okay. Now let's start with event listener. An event listener is a function that's wait for a specific event to happen on the HTML element. Any particular event happen in HTML element, that time the event handler can work. Okay. For an example, when a user click a button, we can listen for that click and execute some code. Okay. First we can see one code example. Now first I will create a button in HTML. Okay. Button ID equal to add to cart. Okay. Add to cart and the closing tag. Now inside the button closing, add to cart. Okay. I need some style added in the button tag in the above. Okay. Now I can use internal JavaScript. Okay. Script tag and inside the script tag const button equal to document dot. In this function we can use query selector. Okay. Query selector. Inside the parenthesis we add. We can use ID. So the slash symbol will use add to cart. Add to cart. Next one is button dot add event listener. Okay. Button to add event listener. This is the event listener function. If you add any event in your website, you can use add event listener element. Okay. Okay. All events have some function. So now I add a function. Okay. Okay. Inside the parenthesis, display the result. So we need a console.log and product added. Okay. Now once we can check the out code. Okay. Okay. This is our code. Create a HTML button using ID. Button ID is equal to add to cart, and inside the buttons represent the add to cart. So we need some content inside the button tag, and create a inline JavaScript, internal JavaScript. So we can add the script tag inside the body, and const button equal to document.query selector, and then call that add to cart function. And in this in this slide we can see the event listener. So the add event listener element, and then if I click, one function will execute. So I can use click add function. Okay. Now first we select the button using query selector, and next we add a event listener. The first parameter of the event type, which is click. Okay, this is the click is the first parameter, and then the second parameter is the function, because if I click the button, some function will run in that website. Okay, so whenever the user click the button, add product will be displayed in your console. Okay, now in this code for used in if we create a HTML button, so you click the button, directly product added message displayed in your console page. Okay, now we can see the code is run correctly. Okay, now the add to button is created, and now if I click the button, read property is missing. Okay, it has some error. We can see what is error in our code. Okay, const button dot query selector add to. Okay, the simple mistake. Now the output will show. Okay, now if I click the add to cart button, see in the console output is product added. Okay, if I click the add to cart button, so this is the event. If I click the add to cart, so this is the event. Okay, now next one is the event object. Whenever an event occurs, JavaScript automatically create an event object. Okay, if you have any event, the JavaScript automatically create one event object. This object contains useful information about the event. Okay, now see this document.query selector. Okay. This is this tell exactly which element triggered event. Okay. See this event dot target. Okay, event dot target. In this console.log event target is tells the exactly which elements triggered in the event. Okay, and then which type of event will run. Click. See console.log event type. Which type of event will working in that page? Like if I click the button, that is click type, and then you can type some contents in your search box, that is the event type will be differ. Okay, so this is refers the element on which event listener is attached. Okay, if a user click a product card, event dot target helps us identify which product was selected. Okay, in if an example you can see one, you can imagine one e-commerce website. Okay, if you need a one product, you can click add to cart. So the event target is used to tell the server this type of product will be added. So that time you can that time the event target will be used. Okay, event bubbling and event capturing. Now let's understand how event travel through the DOM. By default, event bubble upwards. That means the event start from the child element and moves it to the parent element. We can already see child element and parent element in the previous video, and now we can see the example in VS Code. Okay, now clear this one. Okay, clear this. So what? Okay, now add a div tag. Okay, div id equal to parent. Id equal to parent and close the tag. Inside the div tag we add a button. So now we okay button button id equal to child. Okay, inside the parent tag we can add a child tag, child element. Okay, now click me. Okay, click me. Then we add a JavaScript function. First we call the parent element parent dot add event listener and click comma add some function, right? So in this code we can use the arrow function. Okay, can use the arrow function. Now console dot log parent click. Okay, parent click and the same code for child element. Same element for child. Now child dot event listener child dot add event listener. Okay, click then child clicked. Okay, okay, the function is done. Then we add a close parenthesis and the JavaScript is a case sensitive, so you can correctly add the brackets and correct spelling for your code. Okay, now we can see the output. Okay, if now the button is changed, right? Click me. So if I click, the child click and the parent click. Okay, the child execute first, then the parent first we will in this code we can write first one is parent clicked and then the second one is child clicked, but the output display first one is child clicked and the second one is parent clicked. So this is the event bubbling. Okay, and then now we can see the event capturing. Event capturing is the opposite process of event bubbling. Okay, the event starts from the parent and moves towards the child. In the event bubbling, the event starts from the child and moves to the parent. Now, the event capturing is the event starts from the parent and moves to the child. Okay. This is the these two things are same, but the event moving forward method is only changed. Okay. Now we can see the next event delegation. Imagine a page with 100 of buttons. Adding a separate event listener to every button is inefficient, right? Instead, we attach one listener to the parent element and let event bubbling do the work. Okay, like we can have an example. Okay, now document. Okay, inside the script tag, we can write some code. First one is document dot get element by ID. Okay, and then inside the product products. Okay, next one is dot add event listener. Add event listener. So now we add a from click and all even have some function. So we add a function. Inside the function parenthesis, I add a event. Okay. Now we add a curly braces. Okay. Now we add a if else condition. Event dot target. Event dot target. Dot target and then dot tag name. Okay. Event dot target dot tag name. Okay. Now we can add a equal and then button. Now console.log for displaying our output in browser or console. Console.log product added. Okay. Now we can write a code. Okay. Why use event delegation. First of all, you can need a better performance in your code. You can decide use event delegation, and you need a less memory. You have a less memory usage. Okay, and then work for dynamically add more elements. So uh, in this code, we see output like if you click the button, the product will be added in your console. Okay. This get element by ID is used for getting the elements from HTML document, and then the event listener is used for if I click the element, any one function will run. So we can use a add event listener, and we can use a if else function. So if event target dot tag name equal to button, if only the console will added the product. Okay, this is event delegation. And then next one is keyboard events. Okay. If you are seeing any websites, first of all, you can search something. Okay. If you are going to Instagram, search any ID, you can type some words in your search bar. So that is keyboard events. Keyboard events helps us detect user input from the keyboard. Okay, if I press the letter A, the output will be A. Okay, so we use keyboard events. First of all, you can see this code. Const search input equal to document.query selector. First of all, you can write a HTML code in your HTML document, and then you can select the particular element with the usage of JavaScript like get element by ID. If you need to change any if you need to change HTML code, you can use document.getElement by ID. If you need to change any styles and fonts or any other CSS properties, you can use query selector. And if the hash symbol is very important. If you use class, you use dot, and then if you write a code using ID, you can use slash element. Okay, and then the add event listener key up function event. This is for run the keys is realized. If you click the A in your keyboard, the search bar have a letter. Which letter you can type in your keyboard, that same letter is also represent in your search bar. So we use keyboard events. Okay. Now this is exactly how live search for a suggestion work. Okay, and then mouse events. If you shake your mouse, the arrow will be move to your website. That is called mouse event. Simply tells if you shake your mouse, your arrow will be move to left or right, any other. That is called mouse event. Mouse events helps to track users interactions with mouse. Like if you click your mouse once, it is a click event, and if you click a double time, it have some any other events. And then mouse enter, see this code document.query selector, the tool step style.left get chart values. Okay, these all are the mouse events. Now mouse enter, add card dot add event listener dot mouse enter. This mouse enter is used for if you enter something using in your mouse. Okay, so that time you can use mouse enter and mouse click, mouse leave. These all are have a mouse events. Okay, and then the real time example, however effects on your product card, use mouse enter and mouse leaves events. Okay, now forms and okay. Form events and prevent default. Forms are one of the most common places where events are used. Like if you are filling any sign in form or register form, you add your details and fill your details. That time you can add a if you click and you can write some information. So the form events is in mostly used. Why prevent default? Prevent default means normally submitting a form, refresh the page. Prevent default stops the behavior. And you can see this code. Form dot add event listener submit assign function event. Okay, and then event prevent default console.log form was submitted. So you can click the function, you can click the submit button, the form will be submitted. So that time one event will be run in your browser or in your website. Okay. This fires every time the users types like input add event listener and input functions even console.log even.target values. We can see in the before slide we can use even.target value. This fires every time the user can use their types. Okay, and then okay, real world example. Using weather apps, e-commerce stores, new websites, social medias, these all are using event handling patterns. Okay, in everyday usage, we all are using event handling methods. Like if you are using your mobile phone, like mobile phone, social medias like Instagram, YouTube, WhatsApp, all websites have a event handling. Okay. Okay guys, I hope you can understand this video. In today's session, we learned how JavaScript handled user interaction through events. We covered event listener, the event objects, event bubbling, event capture, and event delegation, mouse events, form events, and real-time application. These concepts are used in almost every modern web application. So make sure you practice them with your own examples, and I hope you guys you can understand this video. We will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching LC Academy. Thank you.